Who is it that can truly see as they are, this earth, this body, the hell realms and the heavenly realms? Who can discern the well-taught path of wisdom in the way the eye of a skilled florist can select perfect blooms? It is those who knowingly walk the way, who can see as they really are, this earth, this body, the hell realms and the heavenly realms. They are the ones who can discern the well-taught path of wisdom. Know the body to be as transient as foam, a mirage. The flower of sensual passion has a hidden barb. See this and pass beyond death. As a flash flood can sweep away a sleeping village, so death can destroy those who only seek the flowers of casual, sensual pleasures. To be frustrated and ungratified, yet still only seek the flowers of casual, sensual pleasures, brings one under the destroyer's sway. As a bee gathering nectar does not harm or disturb the colour and fragrance of the flower, so do the wise move through this world. Dwell not on the faults and shortcomings of others. Instead, seek clarity about your own. As a beautiful flower without fragrance is disappointing, so are wise words without right action. As a beautiful flower with a delightful fragrance is pleasing, so is wise and lovely speech when matched with right action. As many garlands can be made from a heap of flowers, so too much that is wholesome can be done during this human existence. The fragrance of flowers or sandalwood blows only with the prevailing wind, but the fragrance of virtue pervades all directions. The fragrance of virtue surpasses by far the fragrance of flowers or sandalwood. The aroma of sandalwood and the scent of flowers bring only little delight compared to the fragrance of virtue, which suffuses even the heavenly realms. It is not possible for Mara to find those who abide in heedfulness, who by perfect knowledge are freed and live in virtue. Just as a sweet-smelling and beautiful lotus can grow from a pile of discarded waste, the radiance of a true disciple of the Buddha outshines dark shadows cast by ignorance. The night is long for one who cannot sleep. A journey is long for one who is tired. Ignorant existence is long and tedious for those unaware of truth. Having found no companion who has travelled at least as far as ourselves, it is better to go alone than to accompany those who remain irresolute. This is my child, this is my wealth. Such thoughts are the preoccupations of fools. If we are unable to own even ourselves, why make such claims? The fool who knows he is a fool is at least a little wise. The fool who thinks that he is wise is assuredly a fool. Like spoons unable to taste the flavour of the soup, are the fools who cannot see truth, even though they live all their lives among the wise. Like the tongue that can appreciate the flavour of the soup, is one who can discern the truth after only a brief association with the wise. By heedlessly performing evil, unwary fools produce their own bitter fruits. They behave like their own worst enemy. A deed is not well done when upon reflection remorse arises. With tears of sorrow one harvests its fruits. A deed is well done when upon reflection no remorse arises. With joy one harvests its fruits. Fools perceive evil acts to be sweet as honey, until they have seen the consequences. When they behold their fruits, fools suffer indeed. Even after months of rigid asceticism, subsisting on a frugal diet, a fool is not to be compared in value to the person who simply sees the truth. Fresh milk does not immediately turn into curd, and evil acts do not immediately show their fruits. However, fools do suffer from the consequences of their foolishness, as they would be burned by standing on coals hidden in ashes. Fools are those who use foolishly whatever gifts they have, destroying their accumulated good fortune. The conceit and craving of fools grows as they claim for themselves undue authority, recognition, and reward. Their falsity affects their longing. They wish to be seen as powerful and discerning. The path that leads to worldly gain and the path that leads to liberation are different paths. Seeing thus, the renunciate disciple avoids the distraction of worldly gain and success, to dwell in solitude. Only blessings can arise from seeking the company of wise and discerning persons, who skillfully offer both admonition and advice, as if guiding one to hidden treasure. Let the wise guide beings away from darkness, give direction and advice. They will be treasured by the virtuous and dismissed by the foolish. Do not seek the company of misguided friends. Beware of degenerate companions. Seek the company of well-guided friends, those who support insight. Surrendering oneself to Dharma leads to serene being. The wise perpetually delight in the truth taught by the awakened one. Those who build canals channel the flow of water. Arrowsmiths make arrows. Woodworkers craft wood. The wise tame themselves. As solid rock is unshaken by the wind, so are those with wisdom, undisturbed, whether by praise or blame. On hearing true teachings, the hearts of those who are receptive become serene, like a lake, deep, clear, and still. Virtuous beings are unattached. They do not indulge in heedless speech about sensual pleasures. They experience both joy and sorrow, but are possessed by neither. Neither for one's own sake, nor on behalf of another, does a wise person do harm. Not for the sake of family, fortune, or gain. Such a one is rightly called just, virtuous, and wise. Few are those who reach the beyond. Most pace endlessly back and forth, not daring to risk the journey. Although it is difficult to cross over the storm-swept sea of passion, those who live in accordance with the well-taught way arrive at the beyond. With an image of liberation as the goal, the wise abandon darkness and cherish light, leave petty security behind, and seek freedom from attachment. To pursue such release is difficult and rare, yet the wise will seek it, detaching themselves from obstructions, purifying heart and mind. Freeing themselves from longing, unhindered by habitual grasping, those who align themselves with the way delight in non-attachment and, while still in the world, are radiant. There is no tension for those who have completed their journey and have become free from the distress of all binding ties. Alert to the needs of the journey, those on the path of awareness, like swans, glide on, leaving behind their former resting places. Just like birds that leave no tracks in the air, there are those whose minds do not cling to temptations that are offered to them. Their focus is the signless state of liberation, which to others is indiscernible. There are those who are free from all obstructions. They do not worry about food. Their focus is the signless state of liberation. Like birds flying through the air, trackless they move on their way. Like horses, well trained by their owners, are those who have rightly tamed their senses, have freed their hearts from pride and pollution. They generate all-pervading delight. There are those who discover they can completely abandon confused reactions and become patient as the earth, unmoved by anger, unshaken as a pillar, unperturbed as a clear and quiet pool. Those who arrive at the state of perfect freedom through right understanding are unperturbed in body, speech, or mind. They remain unshaken by life's vicissitudes. Those who know the uncreated, who are free and stilled, who have discarded all craving, are the most worthy beings. Whether in a forest, a town, or open country, delightful is the dwelling place of one now fully free. Beings free from addiction to sensual pleasures know a unique form of delight. They seek quiet in forest retreats, which worldly beings would avoid.